me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
So imagine if you were in charge of a park and everything that could break is going to break, and it's your job to fix it. And half of your staff typically is dedicated to just that. And so what does it take to maintain these facilities? AI revolution as it leaps into autonomous robots in the shape of lawnmowers, in the shape of sprayers, in the shape of field stripers that are starting to take over some of the work that's done in parks and recreation so that we can have extra man hours towards this massive, never-ending wall of deferred maintenance that often just gets kicked down the road and pushed back and pushed back. Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, where we highlight the essential work that keeps our parks and facilities thriving. From local ball fields to multi-use athletic complexes, field maintenance ensures every space is safe, ready, and welcoming for play and community events. Facility maintenance is the backbone of operational excellence, ensuring that recreation centers, playgrounds, and shared spaces are functional, clean, and built to last. Behind the scenes, equipment maintenance keeps vital tools and machinery in peak condition. At the core of future-forward thinking is sustainability management, integrating green practices that reduce environmental impact and enhance long-term resource stewardship. Facilities maintenance is more than routine upkeep. It's strategic, essential, and foundational to building healthy and resilient communities. This is the Daily Parks and Rec Show, honoring the professionals who keep our spaces running and our communities strong. All right, we are live again with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, Facilities Maintenance Edition, week number 2 on our new show, 10:45 Eastern AM, for all things facilities maintenance, Monday through Thursday. This is our just give me 30 days to really get this one set up. We had our first guest, on Monday. Thanks, Garrett. I spoke to a lot of people this week about this show, so you're going to start seeing guests rolling through regularly as I get things set up. Right now, this is just kind of a technical setup week where we're trying to discuss all things facilities maintenance. So what do I mean by facilities maintenance? In Parks and Recreation, there's a massive real estate portfolio that has playground equipment on it, has splash pads on it, has trails on it, has trees on it, has a ton of grass, whether it's open space, open green space with, it's not made for anything specifically. It's just an open green field, maybe surrounded by a walking trail and a parking lot and bathrooms and stuff. And it's just where you can just do whatever. And so you just see random people. This is called open space, right? And then we've got like soccer fields, baseball fields, which are very specific to whatever sport they're for. And then you've got tennis courts, pickleball courts, you name it, trash cans, park benches, all of this has to be maintained. So imagine if you were in charge of a park and everything that could break is going to break, and it's your job to fix it. And half of your staff typically is dedicated to just that. And so what does it take to maintain these facilities? And now these are also the community centers, the basketball gyms, all this stuff is all part of facilities maintenance. When it comes to the lawn maintenance, you've got a lot of pesticides, you've got a lot of fertilizers, you've got a lot of equipment. A lot of this equipment is starting to become part of the AI robotics revolution, all the above. So one of the topics that we focused on Monday was urban forestry. It just so happens, while me and Garrett were talking, we were like, we need to get some arborists, certified arborists on here. Had a great conversation with Justin and his buddy Jason with Tree Man Solutions. They're going to come on to the show, and Jason Alfaro, Jason, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He was the president of the ISA Texas This is 600 arborists in the state of Texas. So we are going to have a professional arborist tree service company that will come on and tell us all about urban forestry, what it, you know, what's the protocol for planting trees, what's the expected cost, not just the cost of the saplings or the trees you're planting, but the all-in costs when it comes to planting trees in an urban environment. And Justin had the pleasure of trying to plant, I can't remember what he said, maybe 1,000 or 9,000 trees in and around San Antonio, Texas. And they were moving sidewalks and it's I'm gonna let him tell the story, but, a lot of times when we think we just plant a tree, it's as if we've got an open field that's a perfect environment, boom, plant the tree, everything's fine. That's all you gotta do is buy the tree, plant the tree. Nothing could be further from the truth, especially in urban environments. There really is a lot of science and thought that goes into where do you want this 2 to 300-year thing that's gonna last that long to be, and what is the future of its surroundings, so that we make sure we plant the right tree in the right place so that it's got a good future. So all about urban forestry. That's just one topic in facilities maintenance. We've got a lot of others coming up. I do have several actually robotics companies that are pioneering a lot of this AI revolution as it leaps into autonomous robots in the shape of lawnmowers, in the shape of sprayers, in the shape of field stripers, that are starting to take over some of the work that's done in parks and recreation so that we can have extra man hours towards this massive, never ending wall of deferred maintenance that often just gets kicked down the road and pushed back and pushed back. And so I think a lot of these efficiencies in robotics are going to be setting loose a lot of man hours towards things that are being neglected. So I really want to highlight a lot of that stuff as it comes in facilities maintenance. I've always been kind of on the tech side of life, early adopter on just about everything. And so I think I'd love to bring that part of who I am into Parks and Rec by just making sure that we highlight the latest and greatest technologies that can drive efficiencies and save money and man hours, so that we can redeploy them on all the things that we're neglecting. Because the Parks and Rec facilities always have a lot more to do than what you have the capacity to do. And so anything we can do to expand that capacity, can expand that man hours to more efficiently use the scarce capital that we all have in Parks and Recreation, the better. And if I can help get in touch with the companies and the technologies that are at the cutting edge into this, and then a lot of the park systems that are already using some of these. I've talked to park systems that have gone full bore into using robotic lawnmowers and robotic sprayers, and they love them. And these were some of the early adopters, so they were buying kind of like I bought the $500 DVD player when it was terrible and as big as a VCR. Same thing. So appreciate all you guys that are, taking it, being the first to pioneer the use of this technology in your park systems. I think it's going to make a lot of difference in the long run, especially as the price and the effectiveness of these machines come in and get better and better and improve over time. So I really like to highlight that. And then also, I'm going to keep pushing on the whole smart city side. That's something that's always interested me. I love technology. Um, and I think a lot of our cities, as we get into IoT, which stands for Internet of Things, starts to creep into our control systems, that we can actually just get a lot better information. We can get a lot more control over our facilities, get a lot better feedback as everything is connected to the internet. What does that look like at the city level? We're starting to see that a little. I say a little. It's really starting to be in all future homes that we build. So your light switches, your light fixtures, your fans, your air conditioning, so much stuff is tied to the internet, can actually speak to the internet, which means it can speak to your phone, and then you can program it. And so, just to give you an example, you can program your air conditioning, your garage door, your garage lights, and your home lights to detect when your phone geographically gets closer to your home, these things can automatically come on, and then you're never having to turn on a light switch or open a garage door, or turn on the AC. This is something that's just, software can do. And so, what does that look like? What does that capability look like in a city? From lights to sump pumps to gates to bathroom doors to sports lighting coming on and off on a schedule. What does that look like? What is a smart city? What is a smart home? What is a smart city? What are the devices? What are the softwares that drive efficiencies, drive awareness, get us better information about what's going on in our cities? And of course, now there's a lot of cool stuff around foot traffic, so that if you host an event, say a special event, and you want to know how many people are attending your event, number one. Number two, how many people are attending your event from out of town, because that's driving economic dollars in hotels and food and gas and that kind of stuff. So that you can look back and say, hey, is this an economic driver, this event, this farmer's market, this, people coming from out of town for this farmer's market kind of thing? Or are they spending the night for this festival, maybe this 2 or 3 day festival? And so when you're looking to budget for a special event, you really need to have those numbers. How many people are coming out of town to attend this special event, which is an economic driver in our city, which is hosted by the Parks and Rec Department. So a lot of cell phone data that's collected can give you this information. There's a couple of cool companies that do this, and love to highlight that as well. So I think I'm going to kind of roll all this into that show. You should start seeing regular guests. They're starting to sign up. Regular guests show up on all the above topics. If you'd like to see a guest in this world that I'm describing of facilities maintenance, maintaining parks and rec facilities, uh, please have them or just send me their name on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn 24/7. So hit me up in the direct messages, aka the DMs, and I'll be happy to reach out to them and see if we can get them on the program here on our Monday through Thursday show about park maintenance. Um, and then also, if you're a superintendent, I encourage you, come share your wisdom with all of Parks and Recreation. Whether you're a master electrician that works for a city for many years, maintaining all things Parks and Rec, baseball fields, community centers, whatever, I'd love to have you on and tell us what you've learned over the years and share it with, the younger guys. And all we're doing, look, it's very low pressure. We're talking shop. So you don't have to be some polished speaker. If you're if you're in charge of maintaining a massive fleet or just a fleet of lawnmowers, and you've been doing this for years, then let's get you on and just tell us what you've learned about maintaining equipment, because equipment maintenance is a big chunk of the life expectancy. Maintaining it properly, maintaining it improperly can shorten the life of these very expensive assets that the city needs to keep running smoothly if they're going to keep their grass cut. Um, and what are the do's and the don'ts? And so all we're doing is just asking you to share what you do every day for decades with the community, so that we can create content for the Parks and Rec maintenance crowd out there, which is, by my measure, a third to a half of the manpower in Parks and Rec is dedicated to maintaining facilities. Um, and probably an equal amount of dollars goes to their payroll, their equipment, and the supplies that they need to do so. So it's everything from taking out the trash to cleaning up to blowers and weed eaters and mowers and trucks and bucket trucks and trailers and the army that goes out every day to do all this. And then also, these people are typically the same people participating in uh, setup and takedown at special events. And so this really is a population that I don't think has really been explored. At least I haven't seen a lot of content uh, in this arena, in this area of Parks and Rec. And overwhelmingly, this was a topic that I was encouraged by Parks and Rec directors to create content around. And now I know they have a couple of states that do the um, maintenance rodeos. I'd love to get some of those organizers on here to tell us what that's all about, and why they chose to create something specific for these guys, and what's the kind of stuff they do. Also, I found out from let's see, Cynthia, that there is a facilities maintenance course that the California Parks and Rec Society offers. And so she's giving me a list of instructors in there to come on. If there are any other instructors that help teach about facilities maintenance, I'd love to have you on the show as well. And so this is kind of where we're pushing this one, this 1 hour, 4 days a week. And so that'll give us 208 plus episodes a year on this topic. I think in 30, 60 days, we're going to be jamming just like our leadership series and soon to be our Young Professionals Network. So I'm really excited about that. So that's all I kind of have for y'all today. In a very short moment, we have Jonathan from, hold on, let me make sure. Jonathan Skinner. I will see you in just a few minutes. Let's see. 1 hour. In 1 hour, we have an amazing director of community service at the city of Lake Elsinore. I'll have Jason correct me in a minute. California. Great guy, great story, really exciting guy. I can't wait to have him on the show. Talked to him this morning. He has got, you got to check his LinkedIn out. Follow him on LinkedIn. He is all things Parks and Rec. One of the, you can tell he is just a natural social butterfly connector in Parks and Recreation. Chonda Smith, if you're listening to this, Jonathan told me to ask you about his toes. So that's an inside joke that I think y'all will understand. But Jonathan will be coming up with our leadership series. We've got a lot of great stuff this week and next week. Actually, it's just stacked up. I love that we're now in our own rhythm. This is our phase 2. Phase 1 was our first 100 episodes. Phase 2 is our next 100 episodes. We've now doubled the amount of shows we're going to have per week. So we're going to get through that second 100 much quicker, which means with each episode, we have micro improvements on the back end. You don't see all the things that are improving. Of course, our network is growing. Our impact is growing. Our reach is growing. And that's really thanks to everyone that's participating, all the organizers, all the workers on the back end of the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Couldn't do it without all of y'all. This really is a community effort to build a media company for Parks and Recreation. So much like there was probably some sports guys sitting in a bar saying, hey, let's make our own sports channel. We call it a network. We call it ESPN. In a very similar way that ESPN was made for the sports industry, we're going to make a network and a channel for Parks and Recreation. And this is y'all's channel. And we'll, of course, expand it out into multiple hours. But I can only handle about 2 hours of live content a day before I start to check out with all the other stuff that goes along with having to schedule and book and prepare for all that. But I have a couple other people in mind that I think would make great show hosts to maybe take on one show a week. We may be doing something for recreation as well. So sports, rec sports. I'm thinking about having a weekly show there. Had a great conversation with, hold on. No, it wasn't Doug. It was Locks. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking in the wrong place. Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. So Aaron, I think it's me and him are working something out to where we're going to be able to talk about rec sports on a weekly basis, because that's a big chunk of what we do in Parks and Recreation. So let's have a specific show dedicated to that. Okay, so that's all I have for y'all today for facilities maintenance. Please send anyone that y'all would like to have on this show to me as guests. Those spaces are starting to fill up, and looking forward to the leadership series here in a moment with Jonathan Skinner. Love you guys. I'll see y'all here in a minute. Bye.
When you invest in our high-performance LED sports arena lights, you're not just upgrading your facilities, you're helping us illuminate the untold stories of Parks and Recreation communities. Every purchase directly supports the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a media platform on a mission to celebrate the heart and soul of our local parks and programs. From after-school activities to summer leagues, these spaces shape lives, and their stories deserve to be told. Why your support matters. Capturing community impact. Your contribution helps us assemble a talented team of digital artists, storytellers, and filmmakers to create compelling videos, articles, and short films that spotlight how Parks and Rec programs change lives. Sharing untold stories. From a child's first home run to lifelong friendships forged on the court, we'll document these priceless moments and share them with the world. Inspiring the next generation. By highlighting the joy, inclusivity, and opportunities found in our parks, we foster a deeper appreciation for these vital community spaces. Light up arenas, brighten futures. Your choice to install LED sports arena lights isn't just a smart investment in energy efficiency and performance, it's an investment in stories that deserve to be told. Be part of the story. Take action today. Purchase LED sports arena lights and help us shine a spotlight on the heartwarming stories that define our parks and communities. Contact us now to learn more about our products and how your support fuels the daily Parks and Rec show. Together, we'll shine a light on the moments that matter most.